Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadidamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Have you been wondering what actually happens during a Reiki session? Many people find Reiki to be mysterious before they've actually experienced it. And in today's episode, I'd like to demystify Reiki a bit and explain to you what a healing session really entails. Namaste and welcome to the Spiritual Wealth Podcast. I'm your host, Alexandra Savithri, Director of the American Reiki Academy and the Vedic Healing Center. I'm a Reiki master, Vedic healing master, priestess, and spiritual guide who has practiced and taught spiritual self-development and healing for more than 35 years, led pilgrimages to India, and studied with blessed Indian gurus. In this show, we cover topics related to metaphysics, Reiki, Vedic healing, manifestation, spiritual growth, and feng shui, based upon my studies and work in these disciplines. The aim of this show is to help you awaken, develop, and tap into your spiritual power in order that you may live well, manifest your dreams, and ultimately fulfill your unique divine destiny. So welcome to this episode. And today I want to talk about something that it seems like people are quite curious about, but they often don't fully understand. And that is Reiki, and specifically what happens during a Reiki session. In fact, sometimes before people have had a session, when they call me, they're actually afraid of the session. So let's talk about it, and let me, as I said in the intro, demystify things for you. Now, first of all, before I get into the session, I want to clarify what Reiki is. And I always tell people Reiki is an energy. It's both an energy and a modality. So the word Reiki means universal life force energy. It's the benevolent energy that is all around us in abundance. And as practitioners, we learn how to channel that energy through our bodies and out of our hands for healing purposes. So it is a modality. So it's a hands-on healing modality, and it is also an energy. In the modality, we are using the energy to create healing within the body, within the being, within the atmosphere, because we can apply Reiki on people, on animals, on plants, on spaces. I also use it for personal projects. And today, let's talk specifically, as I said, about the session, a Reiki healing session. So many times people come to Reiki because they're feeling maybe stressed out, overwhelmed, exhausted, could be spiritually disconnected, or they're simply searching for something. And sometimes they don't even know why they're drawn to it. That was me, actually. I was just drawn out of curiosity. But I always also tell people that you are drawn to things, to circumstances, to experiences, because you're following your intuition, really. So there's often a purpose behind the drawing feeling, that something is leading you, and you don't need to put an intellectual label on it. You are simply following your guidance, your intuition. And sometimes, as it was with me, that intuition can lead you down a path that helps you fulfill, again, your dharma, your personal mission. Dharma is a Sanskrit word, so your personal path this lifetime. And this was a beautiful experience for me because I went into my first Reiki healing just out of curiosity, and it opened a whole grand path for me. It was a doorway onto a path. So back to why people come to Reiki. Again, sometimes they really don't know why they are drawn to it. Maybe you're hearing the word Reiki, or some friends of yours have had Reiki sessions and it just keeps coming up for you. So that's really how the journey begins. It's like the universe is tapping you on the back. It could be about anything. It could be, that you need to go to the beach more, or you've been getting the sense that you need to, it can really be about anything. You need to drink green juices, and you keep seeing green juices, and you keep seeing people with green juices, and you say, oh, I know those are healthy. I feel like I need to drink more of those. And so the universe and your soul taps you on the shoulder and kind of inspires you to do certain things. So this is how the journey begins. Now with Reiki is not simply about relaxation, although relaxation can happen. It's not about someone, the healer, the healing practitioner, fixing you or fixing anything. And what's really interesting also is you don't have to believe in anything. Reiki will work even without you believing in it, because many times people come to healing and they've never had a session. So there's no context for believing. What Reiki does is it helps bring the mind, the body, the emotions, and the energy back into a more balanced and relaxed state. And in that state, we operate better in the world, and we manifest what we need and desire more smoothly. So I'm going to go through exactly what happens when maybe you come for a Reiki session, that really kind of the logistics of it, and then I'll talk about how it feels. So usually you seek out a practitioner. The practitioner could be level 1, level 2, or could be a Reiki master like I am, but the different levels of Reiki, you learn how to do healings. So even with level 1, you are able to do healings on other people. So you would seek out a Reiki practitioner, or an advanced Reiki practitioner is level 2, or a Reiki master who's more advanced and has been doing more sessions and also has been teaching Reiki. So, and I do want to say that obviously each experience is going to be different, and just like a teacher of anything, you may find, or a practitioner of anything, you may find that you resonate with a certain practitioner or a certain teacher, and another one you don't quite click with. So honor that feeling as you investigate this path, and also be open to trying a few experiences. Think about if you go to a yoga class. Sometimes you go to a class and you love the experience, and another time you go to the class and you think, I didn't really like this teacher's style. I won't say you didn't like the teacher because, oh, that sounds kind of mean, but you didn't like the style. Maybe the teacher spoke too much. Maybe the music wasn't conducive to what you wanted to get out of the class. Maybe you wanted a smaller class. Maybe the studio didn't click with you. So when you approach Reiki, think about it the same way. Think that you're going to give it a chance, and keep that in mind. So when you go for a session, you've probably spoken to the person on the phone and felt a bit comfortable and decided you will try this session. Usually you're going to go to the person's treatment room and lie on a massage table. Reiki can be done with you sitting down, of course, also, but to do a formal Reiki session, and I don't really like the word formal because it is a very sweet experience. So formal sounds very serious, but to do an official, let's say, Reiki session, you would usually lie on a massage table, and you are fully clothed. You simply take your shoes off. The massage table is comfortable. It might be heated. It might be padded. The practitioner will usually put a blanket over you, and you will experience probably half the session on, I say probably, and I'm going to tell you why, on the back of your body. So you'll start lying down, and the practitioner, well, first let me preface that. She will probably talk to you before you lie down on the massage table and just see if there are any reasons you're coming for the Reiki session. Then after a few minutes, you'll lie down on the massage table, and she will put a blanket on you, maybe a little pillow over the eyes, so that you can relax a bit more. And then there is a sequence of hand positions that she works on. So the hand positions are usually a light touch. I say usually because sometimes people do Reiki and do not touch at all. I learned Reiki primarily as a touch modality, and there are then certain hand positions I wouldn't touch, and some sequences I would do in the energy field. The energy field just means a few inches above your body. You have a field, a space around your body. But most of the time, I'm actually touching the person. The hands are just laid on the body, and the fingers are together. You will feel different things from the practitioner's hands. It can be a sense of relaxation. You will probably feel heat from the practitioner's hands. I will say that. Not always, but that is a very common experience. And the practitioner is going to gently move through a sequence of hand positions, also guided by her intuition. So we do a sequence on the front of the body, and then the person turns over. So you would turn over onto your stomach and put your head in the headrest. And then we do a sequence on the back of the body. There are some advanced techniques that we also do in level 2 and mastership, but for the purposes of this episode, I'm just going to talk about a basic Reiki healing session. So it's that sequence of hand positions. The hands are moved very gently, one at a time, and what you may feel is deep, deep, deep peace. I've had many people say to me afterwards, I didn't know I could get this relaxed without having a massage. because they've probably had massage before. And so when they find out you're not going to massage them, they don't expect to get that same kind of relaxation that they have experienced in a massage. And for others, they may feel emotions rising to the surface. Some people feel warmth, again, from the practitioner's hands. They may feel clarity. They may feel deeply loved, or a kind of familiar sense of coming home, maybe to themselves, like a reconnection with the self through this modality, or a reconnection with energy. Or you may have, whoever the recipient, experiences come to mind. Because, see, the body is like a computer and it stores everything. So experiences, interactions you've had with people, conversations, good and bad. And sometimes those experiences surface out of the blue. You might even be surprised that they kind of drift through your mind. But it's all about the a letting go, really. You're unwinding, and these things are kind of passing through and out of your field. And one thing I tell people is that every session is different. That's why I do encourage you to try different sessions. Sometimes people come to me and they say they had Reiki and they loved it. So they're having another session, but they've never been to see me. They had it a long time ago, or they had it and maybe the practitioner didn't touch them and they wanted to give it another try. Or they had a session and it really shifted things for them. And it could have been years ago, and they feel they're drawn into the healing arts right now. So they want to try a session again. But Reiki is going to come and help you wherever you are. It can be dramatic shifts, but often the healing is deep and subtle. So you may leave feeling calmer, more grounded, more connected to yourself, definitely more peaceful, more relaxed. You might also realize you've been holding stress in your body for years, because, as I said, some of those experiences that start to float through you when you're lying on the table might surprise you. You may begin hearing your intuition more clearly. And I guess I want to emphasize that Reiki is not separate from a spiritual practice. Instead, in my experience, Reiki becomes much more powerful when combined with things like practices like meditation, mantra chanting, yoga, breath, prayer, daily spiritual practice. So in the yogic traditions, this is called sadhana. And ultimately, Reiki is about, just like all these other things I just mentioned, these components of spiritual practice, Reiki is about helping you become more aware, more present, more connected to your own inner guidance. And over time, I would say many people notice that they become more intuitive, more sensitive to energy, more aware of what drains them, what supports them. It's like Reiki, let's say, helps clear the interference so that you can hear yourself again. And I think that's one of the most beautiful parts of this work, because Reiki represents a return to yourself. It's a return to your own inner wisdom. And I guess I would say, I think there are many misconceptions about Reiki online right now. Some people present it as something magical or instant, but I've seen many, let's say, dubious representations of Reiki that I won't get into here. But healing is a journey. It's a journey. It's an unfolding. It's a remembering. And healing doesn't mean your life suddenly becomes perfect. Healing means you finally unravel and begin listening to yourself. It also means your nervous system can calm down. So with a calm and peaceful nervous system, we are, all of us are naturally more successful in life. And by success, I don't necessarily mean amassing things. I mean successful in that you are able to handle life more effectively, more readily. It means you begin making different choices because you can see and feel more clearly. And this is very powerful. So for many people, Reiki becomes a doorway. I always use this phrase. It is a doorway into deeper awareness, into spiritual growth, into a reconnection with your intuition, and ultimately into transformation. So I hope this helped you a little bit understand what happens during a Reiki session. I want to say, please don't be afraid of the session. It's a very beautiful, calming experience. As long as you connect with the practitioner on the phone or wherever you meet her or him, trust that and try a session and see how you feel. Now, maybe one more thing I want to say, because I just thought of it, is that all of healing is cumulative. And I think I said this in the last episode I did, was about healing occurring in spirals, in layers. So it's cumulative. It's a cumulative experience. It's not like you go in and one session you're perfect afterwards. And yet, let me say, and I think I said it earlier, there can be dramatic transformation. And it can be rather fantastic, rather incredible. But this happens when all of the things are lined up and it's the right time, the right practitioner, and all the stars are aligned, I'm going to say. Now, I don't mean that to sound really out there, but there is something to be said, and I like to go out there too. So I am a metaphysical practitioner, so there's nothing wrong with speaking about the stars and astrology and your chart and karma and divine timing. So that's what I mean. This, there's the mysterious and the really out there, as people would say, the woo-woo part of healing. And then there's also the components that practitioners feel are actually not that mysterious and very grounded. So there's a lot of truth in divine timing, let us say. You can have the different nuances. You can say it's about, oh, my astrological chart. It's about karma. It's about that, at this time, in this lifetime, this was the time in which I was meant to transform in this certain area. Because, if we think about, I'm going to segue a little bit, but if we think about the soul's journey, you come here with a path, you come here with a mission, you come here with lessons to learn, and above all else, above your physical effort, your human effort, there is something else going on that is guiding the experience. And in spiritual practice, we surrender to that. We know there is a higher force, source energy, God, divine timing, guiding everything. And that's why we accept everything in our life. There is no necessarily good and bad, right and wrong decisions, although, of course, we know what is morally, we feel would be morally correct to do or, not so good to do. But let me say, when you make a decision you feel was wrong, instead of beating yourself up for that, you say, that was important for my growth. And so there's a great acceptance of the self and of other people on this path. An acceptance that everything is occurring in your life as it is supposed to at this moment. And so healing work helps us become very kind to ourselves and to others, and gives us this great allowing for everything to just be. So I know I segued a little there, but what I was trying to say is allow these experiences into your life and allow Reiki to help you where you are, guide you where you are, give you what it needs at this particular point in time. And if Reiki keeps coming up for you, I would say, give it a chance, give it a try. And also, as I said before, please don't judge one Reiki session and make it mean what Reiki is all about, because just like you would go into different classes with different yoga teachers, or it could be anything you're learning, English, math, how to roller skate, you will find the connection that you need in order for you to derive what Reiki is calling you to derive. So I hope that makes sense. If you've been curious about Reiki, I hope this episode gave you a more grounded understanding of what it is and what it can open within you. I'm going to talk more about Reiki in the upcoming episodes. If you'd like to explore Reiki more deeply, I have a free audio called Discover Reiki, and you can find the link in the show notes. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Om Sai Ram. Jai Guruji. Om Amriteshwariye Namaha. Hare Krishna. Om Namah Shivaya.